Our messages are psychic and mediumship messages, and I will offer each of you a message for your highest and best good. The first thing I do is I come to you and I ask you for permission to touch your vibration. I need an explicit yes. I will never presume I have permission to touch your vibration, and will always ask you if it's okay for me to touch your vibration. The moment I do, the moment you say yes, my spirit teachers talk with your spirit teachers, and then come back and tell me what they would like you to know for your highest and best good. A couple of things about the messages. If you receive an information about the future, remember the future is not cast in stone. It's simply a possibility or a probability, and you're being given that information so you can either take steps to avoid the circumstance or take steps to enhance and bring about the circumstance. Free will is always in effect. This is a public forum, public venue. And what that means is, while I'm giving a message to you, Spirit may present it in a way that it's beneficial to more than one person. So if you're on the sidelines watching me give a message to someone else, if it feels right, if it rings true, if what I'm saying to them feels right and rings true, it's okay for you to take it too. They're not copyrighted. They're not unique to each of us. Many of us share the same problems, conditions, and issues. And Spirit is oftentimes aware that sometimes when you're not the person on the hot seat receiving the message, it's easier for you to hear something than when you are directly receiving the message. Okay, I believe that is it. And I typically offer our newbies messages first. But the problem I've had with that lately is that well, no, we'll do that. So Mary, you were the first person I saw this morning. Would you like a message? You have to unmute yourself or shake your head yes.
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. So Nathan steps very close to me, and he's showing me you making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And the first sandwich, you take a little bit of peanut butter and you spread it on one bread, and you take a little bit of peanut butter and spread it on the other bread, and then you put jelly and you make the sandwich that way. And then the next sandwich, you put a whole lot of peanut butter on one side and a whole lot of jelly on the other side, and you mix it together. And the message for this, and the reason he's showing this to you, is he's reminding you that each person has a preference. And he is acknowledging you for your willingness and your generosity for honoring the preferences of others. But he wants you to begin to demand from others that they honor your preferences. Because both those sandwiches you were making were for others. And you have a different type of sandwich you want. It looks like hummus. I can't really tell what's being spread. But you've got a different type of sandwich you like. And too often you will make yourself a peanut butter and jelly because that's what you're doing for everybody else, instead of really taking and doing for yourself what you prefer. And then having other people honor your preferences. And I will bless you and leave you with that. And then because I don't have a connection with your vibration to see how you received that while I was giving the message. Did that land for you? Do you have any questions or comments on it? You were still unmuted, so you were.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Which, sometimes I'm not the most outspoken person, so maybe that's kind of what it's talking about there.
Yeah, and allow yourself to expect from others the generosity and love you give to them, because you deserve it. And I will bless you and leave you with that.
Thank you.
You are welcome. So I'm going to mute you, and then I'm going to, and Ashley, will you unmute yourself, or you can shake your head if you want a message.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Have you been to Burning Man before?
No, but I know what it is, and it seems fun.
So there's this big bonfire, I guess, that happens at Burning Man. And I don't know all the symbology around it, but there's this huge bonfire with people dancing around it. And you're not at the people dancing closest to the fire, but you're not the people farthest back just watching the spectacle. You're kind of in the middle, and you're examining the premise behind, you're examining the premise behind the reason several people are acting in a certain way. And part of you thinks it makes sense, it's logical, the premise is okay. But the other part of you says something's not right. It just doesn't feel right. It's just not, it doesn't work that way. And this is coming from Tao Chuan Ling. He's my high spiritual teacher, and he's reminding you that you have not directly experienced what it is you've been seeking. So everything is speculation, and he wants you to trust what you know to work until you find something that you experience that proves to you otherwise. Now, that experience can either be direct physical three-dimensional world experience, or it can be such a profound feeling and intuition and knowing that you just know, and you know that you know, and there's no doubt about it. Very similar to what we talked about earlier about the communication. He says each is valid. Here he goes, but this is the problem, and this is the part that he wants you to pay attention to. If you're going to say you run a marathon and you can go run a marathon, the world doesn't doubt you can run a marathon. But if you're going to say you can communicate with spirit or heal other people, a lot of people will want evidence and proof of that. He says their inability to accept what you believe isn't going to change no matter what proof you give them. So if you're in the three-dimensional world and you say, I can do 100 push-ups, you can prove that. I can run a marathon, you can prove that. I can play guitar, you can prove it. A lot of the spiritual stuff people can't hear regardless of the proof they have. So he wants you to approach things more from a knowingness from yourself, a knowingness within yourself to be used for yourself, and have that be sufficient. Because the moment you know, and it's not unlike the comment I made to Robin earlier, the more you be you and be the change in the world that reflects your beliefs, the more people will then start to knock and notice and say, wow, something's different here. I need to know what that is. In our overall philosophy, we're not evangelical. We don't ask you to go out and save other people's souls. We just say, be the best you can be, and when people notice and ask you, answer the knock. So I will bless you and leave you with that, and then see if that made any darn sense to you, if that landed.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, I took a few notes, and I'll be reflecting on that more.
Excellent. And then you can play this back again tomorrow, and then the other thing you all can do is shoot me an email you should have received my email address somewhere on all of our correspondence, so you can shoot me an email and ask me stuff there. So I'll bless you and leave you that. All right. All right. The next person I have who's one of our new visitors is Jan. Would you like a message?
Yes, please.
Excellent. I'm not seeing Jan. There she is. All right, I don't know if you've ever done this before, but there's a type of pea, and it comes in kind of a purple husk, and then you pull the beans or the peas out of the husk, and you husk the peas or the beans. And I've got you sitting with a big bushel of unhusked peas, a bag with the husks, and a bowl with the peas. And you're very much involved with shucking these peas. You're just going in, you've got it down, you're in a rhythm, you're going, and it's very meditative for you, and it's almost it's a ritual. You've got something, and this is symbolic of something you've got in your life that just, it works for you. It works. Back to the pea shucking, someone else shows up, and it's time for you to share, tell them, teach them, show them how to shuck the peas. And they're not doing it the way you do it. And there's a little bit of upset with you that they're not doing it the way you showed them. And Tao Chuan Ling reminds you to look back at the first few times you did this thing that works really well for you. And before you got really good where you can get into the zone and you could just really be okay doing it, it took you a while to figure it out. So trust people will eventually figure things out the best way that works for them. But even though they can do the work and it feels right to them, it may never be your way. And Tao Chuan Ling reminds you to be okay with that. But more importantly, don't be distracted by what you know works for you when someone else is around that doesn't necessarily believe or do things the way that works for you. This feels specifically in the realm of personal relationships. I'm not getting whether it's romance or just family or close friends, but it's definitely in the realm of personal friendships or personal relationships. So I will bless you and leave you with that and see if that landed at all, because it's kind of an odd image. But man, when you're in the zone, it's like it's your happy place. Well, you've got a place where you go, it's a happy place that just works for you. Anyway, I'll bless you and leave you with that and see if that landed at all.
Thank you. Yeah, it did.
Okay, you're welcome. I'll bless you and leave you with that. And Jim, I've got you next. Would you like a message? Excellent. And where are you joining us from, sir? Can you unmute?
Buffalo, New York.
Excellent. Welcome.
Thank you.
And you said yes, correct?
Yes, I did, please.
Okay. All right, so this message is coming from, I call him Red Hawk because I can't pronounce his Native American name because it's got so many individual syllables. And he first shows me the image of a dartboard. And then he takes a very similar type of shape of concentric circles and puts it on the ground, drawn in dirt on the ground. And he shows a Native American gentleman standing in the center where the bullseye would be on a dartboard and taking an arrow and shooting it straight up in the sky and seeing how close it can come back to him without hitting him. So that's the image. Now let's see what the heck that means. All right, he's reminding you that there's a difference between skill and luck and bravery. And you're in some circumstances which requires a high level of bravery. But the area that's requiring the bravery is not so much skill as it is luck. Because if you're going to play darts, it's skills. Because you're a certain distance from the board, and there's no wind blowing, and you can get very skilled at playing darts. If you're going to shoot an arrow in the sky, even if there's virtually no wind, there's a little bit of wind, and where it lands is more luck than skill. And the reason you're receiving this message is it seems as though there is a situation or a circumstance that either has just shown up in your life or is just about to show up in your life. And it feels as though you're going to require a great deal of bravery on your part to get the result you want. And he wants you to pay close attention to which parts you are skilled at versus of this communication, this conversation, or this situation. There are certain parts you're very skilled at, and there are certain parts that are luck. And he really wants you to pay attention between which parts you're skilled at and focus on those rather than anything that's just mostly controlled by luck. It feels in the area of finances, work, vocation, something around in the realm of finances. And I will bless you and leave you with that and see if that landed at all, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Did that make any sense?
I'll work on it.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Glad you joined us. And next I have Stacy. Would you like a message? Stacy, I see you're unmuted. Can you say, do I have permission to touch your vibration? I've got you on a phone also. You may have to unmute the phone or turn your video on where I can see you shake your head. Yay. Would you like a message? Yes? Okay. On your phone, by the way, it's *6, I believe, unmutes the phone.
Can you hear me?
Yay, I can.
Oh, wow. Okay, good.
Excellent. So so I got you shaking your head. Yes, you wanted a message.
Yes, very sorry that took so long.
No problem. This is the Zoom world. We're used to it. I've got a situation around you, and it feels in the realm of relationships, and it's a close relationship. I'm not sensing whether the exact nature of the relationship. And in this relationship situation, you're building a house of cards. And what's interesting is one of you wants to use a hot glue gun and glue the cards together. And the other one just wants to build the house of cards and have some fun. And Nathan is sharing with me that in this situation, whichever way you go will work, because regardless of how the house of cards gets built, whether it's glued together or just stacked together, it's still a house of cards. So you're welcome to enjoy the time, enjoy what's being created, realizing that it's not a real house, it's just simply a house of cards, and enjoy things as they are. Because the interesting thing is both sides of both how do you want me to say that? Both paths forward have the same intent. You're just coming at it from different directions. Okay. I'll bless you and leave you that and see if that landed at all, because that was really weird message.
No, it's great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'll bless you and leave you that. Where are you joining us from?
Minnesota.
Excellent. Welcome. All right. I think that's all of our new visitors. So thank you for joining us. I hope you join us again soon. Please stay for our creating our intention for the week. And Lisa, you're next on our left to right progression now.
Okay, yes, please.
So Tao Chuan Ling says, he just says in my ear, the old days. This is not your message. So, all right. When we used to do these live in a live church service, sometimes we would have 50 and 60 people to read for. So it was kind of getting back to the older days where it takes a while to get all the messages done. So Sylvia just sent me a message. Let me see what that is. All right, Lisa, now would you like a message? Now I'm reminiscing back to some of the old times. I've got you sitting in an office, and you're not on the business side, you're on the visitor side of the desk. And in the middle of the desk is a very ornate origami snowflake. And it doesn't feel like you're meeting with a superior, but it feels like you're meeting with an advisor. You're meeting with someone who is there to help you through something. And as you're looking at this very ornate origami snowflake, you're just like blown away at the detail. And in the wee part back of your mind, part of you thinks you should learn how to do that. That it would be very, very cool to learn how to do an origami snowflake at that detail. And immediately you go to, I don't have time for that. I can't do that. It'll never turn out that way. But it'd be really cool. So you got something around you that is, I would define it as something that would be a hobby that you're pondering, considering, or contemplating. And the message around it is, why not give it a try to see if it gets you because I'm getting a sense of relaxation and pride. So relaxation, learning how to do it and figuring it out and solving the puzzle. But then pride, having this showpiece that other people would go, wow. So try it on for a little bit if you're considering or pondering some type of project or hobby or something like that. See how it fits. And because the only way you'll know whether it gets you the relaxation you're wanting to get to the end result of the end piece is to do it. And I will bless you and leave with that and see if that landed whatsoever.
I'm not sure yet. I always have things in my head, so.
But this is one that it's just like it feels, our theme for the day, it just feels different. It feels like, it's like you really want the origami snowflake, but then you've got these doubts or worries or concerns that you'll be able to do it. But the only reason you would take it on though is to get the relaxation and the deep concentration. And if it doesn't give you that, it doesn't matter about the showpiece.
Okay.
And I'll bless you and leave you with that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Robin, you're next. Would you like a message? Okay. Okay, this is an interesting image. And so my teacher, Clarissa, steps forward. And if you recall, Clarissa is a pre-Civil War lady, wears the hoop skirts and all that stuff. Very kind of a Gone with the Wind type styles. And she has a crystal star that's meant to go on the top of a Christmas tree. And she has this crystal star and she hands it to you, and then you take it and put it on your head. And this isn't like a party trick. This is really an acknowledgement of two things that made sense to you this past holiday season. And it seems like you got closure, you got understanding, you got some type of success around. And she's sharing this with you to really know that what was accomplished and what was understood and what was realized was a big deal. And acknowledge yourself and allow yourself to dwell in the success of that. And it feels in the realm of some type of personal expression / personal expression is all she wants me to say. So I'll bless you and leave you with that and see if that made any darn sense.
Yes, it absolutely did, and 100% spot on. Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll bless you and leave you with that. So wear this with pride. All right, Beverly, you're next. Would you like a message?
Yes, please.
I don't know what I just did. All right. So you're muted. Okay. All right, Beverly, this is for you. All right, Town Ling steps very, very close, and he reminds you how powerful it can be when you remember how good and skilled and talented you really are. And he shows me one of your paintings. He shows me one of the people whose life you made a little bit different by being there with a smile. But then he also caps it off by showing me that night you were in class and you had that success with some of your healing. I think it was on your hip. And he wants you to be able to create for yourself a place where you can stay connected with that type of power that you have. And sometimes you just have to remember back to something that made you feel good. Bring that sense of feeling good here and now in this moment. And then do what's next inside the feeling good feeling rather than I've got to do this feeling. He says that little shift in intention and context will remind you that you can get it done. And I will bless you and leave you that and see if that landed. Okay, you're still muted, so can you unmute? You're welcome. I'll bless you and leave you that. Talk to you soon. And Sylvia, would you like a message?
Yes, please.
I've got right behind you. So I'm seeing a picture of you through Zoom. And right behind you, blocking your whole wall, is a chorus of angels. And every one of the angels is singing the Hallelujah chorus. And I don't know if it's just a shift in, okay, I'm being told, Nathan says, shut up. So I will bless you and leave you with that and see if that made any sense.
Yes, I listen to Spirit-inspired music every night, and the Hallelujah is on there from several different people.
Excellent. And just know that whatever feeling that brings up for you, Spirit is sharing that with you right now as a reminder. And I will bless you and leave you with that.
Thank you.
You are welcome. And Tina, would you like a message?
Yes, please.
Have you been thinking about like becoming vegetarian or vegan?
No.
Do you have someone
But I
around?
am eating a lot more of just eating better.
Okay. Do you have someone around you that is vegetarian or vegan?
My niece.
Okay. So the reason I'm asking is I've got a wonderful pot of string beans. And right next to this pot of string beans is this gorgeous ham hock. And you're torn about whether you should put the ham hock in the beans or not. And crossing your mind is, but that's not vegetarian. That's not vegan. And Spirit is saying, so this is Tao Chuan Ling. Tao Chuan Ling says, just make another pot that doesn't have, make a smaller pot that doesn't have the ham hock in it. Because I don't know about you, there's something that when you add that little bit of meat flavor into the beans, it kind of makes the whole dish. And if someone else doesn't want that, you can just make a little bit separate dish for them so you can honor what they want. At the same time, take care of yourself. Because the feeling, the sense, right on the other side of this delay or this decision is, but there's a comfort you get when you have things prepared the way you like them. So just do a separate little batch for whoever may be vegetarian or vegan, and then you do what you need to do to take care of yourself. And know that it'll, the nurturing you give yourself by preparing the food the way you want it is the reason you enjoy the food in the first place. And it's okay for you to have your bowl of beans and them have their bowl of beans prepared different ways and enjoy the connection together. And I don't know if that made any darn sense, but it's really stand up for yourself and do what makes you feel good. And you can accommodate others in other ways. So I'll bless you and leave you that and see if that made any darn sense.
I believe so. I think it's about putting myself first.
I would almost bet on it. All right. So I'll bless you and leave you with that. Hazel, a message first because she's got a time constraint. So Hazel, would you like a message? Okay, so this message comes from my joy guide, Christopher. And Christopher shares an image of you sitting on a it's not a meditation cushion, but it's like a stool. But it's not like the little tiny milking stool. It's a little bit bigger than that. And so you're sitting on this stool, and above your head is this gorgeous halo. And it is bright and it is just magnificent. But what's interesting is when you look closely at the halo, there are 3 small halos that are about 2 or 3 millimeters apart. So one is a kind of that really subtle rose quartz color. So it's a little bit translucent and kind of a rosy color. You can definitely tell it's not clear. And the middle one is it's like an aquamarine color. It's very, very subtle. And the aquamarines, again, it's translucent, but you can tell it's not clear. And the one closest to your head, the one on the bottom, it's like a smoky quartz. So it's kind of got this subtle gray brownness to it. But when they combine together, the way that they are showing up, they show up as brilliant white. And there are 3 major things that Christopher is acknowledging you about that you kind of lump together into this one cauldron, if you will, or this one halo. But he really wants you to look at these 3 different areas of your life, 3 different aspects, 3 different ways of seeing things that brings great comfort to you, but more importantly, brings great comfort to others as you connect with them. And he really wants you to give yourself a pat on the back acknowledgement, and continue forth down the path that has gotten you where you are. And he's really wanting you to take the brakes off and go quickly, because it seems as though there is a timeliness and time window for the best way to, the way he's wanting me to use this to score the goal. Christopher is my joy guide. He's about 7 years old, so he uses a lot of game metaphors. And he wants you to be able to hit that, and it feels like that's coming towards the end of the summer. And he wants you to make sure that you're set up to be ready to go when the time is right to go. And I'll bless you and leave you with that, because I don't think I've ever quite seen an image of a halo like that before. Does that make any sense?
A little bit. There are 2 directions that I want to go in, and there's a third that I really would like to go in, but I don't know if it's for the highest good of me and another party. So that still has to unfold.
Well, I think that what there is, though, the halo is for work past, not necessarily for work future. So he wants you to reference back to these areas from the past.
Okay.
Have that inform you moving forward, which what you've learned from the past and past accomplishments may actually answer the question about that one that's still got a question mark over.
Okay.
God bless
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Oh, I forgot to mention that tomorrow you will receive an email, and the email will have a link to a video, and the video will have these messages on it. Oh, shoot. I forgot to do one thing. Zoom is my backup. So if I need to do it this way, so we maintain anonymity in case I have gremlins that don't let my other video work. So, all right. So Lisa, you're brand new with us. So would you like a message, ma'am? And you'll need to unmute yourself if you're on a thumbs up. Yes. Yay.
Yes, I would.
Excellent. Where are you joining us from?
Arizona.
Excellent. Well, welcome. I'm glad you found us, and I'll see what Spirit would like to share with you.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. I've got a balsa wood airplane. So when I was young, which was like a way long time ago, you could get these little balsa wood airplanes and you would put the wings through the body and the tail and all this. And it had a big long rubber band and it had a big red propeller. And you put it all together and you wind up the propeller and you would let it go and it would fly and it would land and you'd do it again. Well, you're trying to use this, you're trying to get this rubber band so tight that when you let it go, it will go the whole journey in one trip. But the problem is you're getting it so tight that the rubber band is actually getting knotted up and getting messed up, and it's starting to mess up the rubber band, and it's almost afraid to break. So there's something you're trying to bring about, something you're trying to accomplish, and you want to get it all done at once. And Tao Chuan Ling is sharing with me, and Tao Chuan Ling is my high spirit teacher on my right. He's sharing with me, it's okay to wind it up, let it fly, pick it up, and break what you're trying to do up into several small parts or several milestones. Because each time you wind up the rubber band and let it go, you're going to learn something along the way. So instead of trying to jump the Grand Canyon all in one failed swoop, take several small chunks, and it will get you where you want to go with much less stress, worry, and concern and bother. And this feels personal growth slash it has a business feeling to it as well. So I will bless you and leave you with that and see if that landed for you at all.
Thank you so much. Yes, it did land.
Excellent. Welcome. I hope to see you again.
Thank you.
All right. I think that's all of our newbies. Okay. So all of the old bees, have we go left to right so I can stay connected. And Mary, would you like a message, ma'am? Do you cook much? So I've got you with a wonderful soup pot, and you're filling the soup pot up, which you know is going to be delicious, but you're doing it all by intuition, by experience, by feel. And there's someone right next to you. They don't feel to be much younger than you, but they feel younger than you. So I don't think chronologically they're much younger than you. So it's not like a small child that's asking you this. It's someone that's more of a contemporary is wanting you to write down a recipe so they can make the soup as good as you make the soup. And you're trying to explain to them in a very frustrated way that that's not how you cook. You cook by feel, you cook by intuition, you cook by what you're trying to explain to them how to incorporate love into a recipe, and they don't get the concept of it. And what what Nathan is sharing with me to have you do is start with the basics. And the basics are, you need a good stock, you need a good few components that you build around. And you knew this a long time ago when you learned it, but you really learned by watching other people and not asking for directions. You just kind of watched what people did and you mimicked it, and it came out good, and you kept on getting better and better and better. So what there is to build a simple formula or process of here are the three major things you worry about when you're going to make a nice soup, and allow that to be their starting point, and then allow them to figure out on their own that love component. Because if they're really interested in learning, they're going to take what you share with them in a very simple abbreviated version, and they're going to expand on it, because that's what a good cook does. A good cook just loves cooking, but also loves eating. But more importantly, they enjoy the sharing of the love and connection that is a meal. And that's what this person is missing. They're kind of missing, they're looking for the formula, 3 quarts of this and 2 teaspoons of this and that. And that's just not how it works. And that's not what you have to give them. So give them the very basics, and then see if they expand and stay interested, because once they get a little bit of experience, Then you'll be able to start to share some of the nuances that you understand if they're interested. But right now, they just think they're interested, and nothing they're going to say is going to, until they get some experience, nothing you say is going to land for them. And I will bless you and leave you with that and see if that landed at all.
Yes, it did. Actually, I had that experience in college.
Excellent. Well, be wary of someone around you now that has that same
Mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're,
Okay.
they're looking for the formula instead of for the experience.
Okay.
I'll bless you and leave you with that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Judy, you're next. Would you like a message?
Yes. Yes, please, Terry.
Were you by chance Catholic before?
No. No. No, like you, Presbyterian, Methodist,
Got it.
Southern Bible Belt.
But you know that Catholics light candles, right?
Yes.
So I've got you in front of one of those altars, classic altars you see from like the movies, and all of the candles are brand new and all the candles are unlit, and you've got one match and you're trying to light as many of the damn candles as you possibly can because you think you need all the luck you can get. And so Tao Chuan Ling is sharing with me that you're beyond luck right now. You got to go on skill and intuition and knowing. You've been relying on luck for so long, and it's, you can't light enough candles to get all the luck you think you need, but you've got more than enough skill to get the job done if you have the faith to take the step and do what it is you want to bring about. Start what it is you want to bring about. And
Is that on a professional or personal level or both? Can you tell?
You're so wound up, sweetie. They're both together. This has been a step you've been avoiding for such a long time. It's kind of it affects
Right.
both sides,
Right.
personal, family, and work vocational. And
Right.
we got to get out of the realm of wishful thinking and luck and get into the realm of skills-based actions.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, the velocity needs to there's something coming up that is going to require that you get the skills. You get comfortable being uncomfortable quickly, because somewhere around it feels, I don't know exactly when Easter is, but somewhere around Easter, it feels like there could be a shift that's going to be highly likely, that's going to require you to mandate some of the things you've been wanting to do.
Right.
And I will bless you and leave you with that and wish you good luck.
Thank you, Terry.
You're welcome. And Jen, you're next. Would you like a message?
Yes, please.
Do you have kids?
Yes.
I don't know. I haven't seen one of these in I don't know how long. So it's a bird, and the bird's about this long. It's got plastic legs. It's got a round bottom, and it's filled with liquid. And basically you start the bird and it will tip over and the water will go this way, and then it'll come back and go forward and go back. And it'll do that for quite a while before it starts to lose steam. The reason I ask about the kids is you're trying to explain how this works to a very inquisitive mind that isn't quite sophisticated enough to understand the mechanics of it. So you're trying to introduce them to the world of physics when they're still wrapped up in the world of magic. And they're fascinated with it. It's like they could watch this all day long, but then they ask 4,000 whys. And what The reason you're getting this message is coming from Tao Chuan Ling, my high teacher. The reason you're getting this message is there are certain things you cannot impart. There are certain parts of your wisdom you cannot impart to others. And the best thing you could do is allow them the space to experience for themselves why things work that way. And I don't know if this is referring to an interaction between you and a small child or someone who is childlike in their understanding. But it does feel in the realm of spirituality, in the realm of personal growth, in the realm of self-awareness. And it looks like going into Valentine's Day that this information or this way of seeing things will become relevant in the next 3-4 weeks. So I will bless you with that and see if that made any darn sense.
Unfortunately, it didn't make a lot of sense. My kids are actually grown, and I don't have any young people really in my life other than my grandkids, but they don't live close or anything. So I'm not really sure.
Remember, it could be someone who's childlike in their spiritual development, more so than a physical child. And like I say, it feels relevant between now and February.
Right.
So if you have someone comes around you and is asking a lot of questions and stuff like that, then it could apply then. So it could be 100% future.
Sure.
And I'll bless you with it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Bethany, would you like a message?
Yes, please, Terry.
Okay. Okay, I've got something you've been working on for quite a while. And the image, this is coming from Nathan, and the image is it's a painstakingly created, handcrafted project. And you walk into a store and you turn around a corner and there's a center aisle display of exactly that same project that you've been painstakingly creating over quite a while. And there's a box that says, 99 cents, made in India. And it's a kit that does exactly that. And there's a feeling you get for just an instant, that you've wasted your time. But then right on the other side of that feeling is the realization that there's nothing that could have replaced the experience and the joy and the satisfaction of creating this thing on your own. And that you didn't start it to get the end result. You started it for the process. And this is an overall life, overall spiritual path type of message that is being directed to you as a reminder that even though there may have been a lot of easier ways, faster ways, cheaper ways to do things, the way you did things were exactly the right way to do them for you. And the proof is going to be this project that every time you look at it will serve as a reminder, a memento, of your progress. So it's a very positive thing, and trust the process, trust you've done everything right in the way it was to work for you. And, you're almost at that point where you're going to see the final results of this labor of love, and it will be very much well worth it. And I will bless you and leave you with that. And I hope it made some kind of sense, because it's a little bit abstract, but man, the feeling is marvelous. Did that land for you?
Thank you. That sounds beautiful. Thank
It
you.
is. Well, enjoy the work. I'll talk to you soon. And Claire, would you like a message?
Yes, please.
Yay, I'm glad your internet's working this week. I think I got some of your internet gremlins today, so. All right, I've got a pot of chili. And this pot of chili is at the point where you have to decide exactly how spicy you're going to make it. And you've got your preference, and the other people that will be joining you for dinner have their preference. But here's the part that is very important for you to remember. Adding spice at the very end to taste once the chili is put in a bowl isn't the same flavor or sense of enjoyment as spice that's added early on that really cooks into the chili. So Tao Chuan Ling is showing you taking this big, gorgeous pot of chili and dividing it into 3 sections: mild, medium, and El Scorcho. One is ideally set for you, and then there's one for other people, and there's two other ones for other people, so they can choose which variety of chili they want. And the part he wants you to remember on this exercise is having this level of consideration for others is who you are all the time. The part that you haven't mastered yet is the way to make sure that you get things exactly the way you want, and then have the consideration and your consideration from others help them out. Because too often you would just make a mild chili that doesn't offend anybody, but doesn't really get you exactly what you're wanting. And it's really time in your life for you to make sure that you get exactly what you want and have your consideration and accommodations for others handled in other ways. And I will bless you and leave you with that, and see if that made any darn sense besides the fact of me wanting chili now.
Well, I recently made some chili, which was interesting. But I'm practicing being a little more boundaried. So when people request things of me, it's a yes or no answer. I don't have to go any deeper than that. I can decide, is this okay for me too? So I'm actually working on that as part of my life's work. So yeah, it definitely is true.
Yeah, and what I'm hearing from my detached perspective is you can have yes, no, and maybe. So you can actually create the boundary, but then sometimes accommodate others by creating the other level.
Oh yes.
So that would be the only
Doesn't
thing.
have to. Yeah.
Sometimes when we're setting boundaries, they got to be black and white. And,
right.
And then once you kind of build that muscle of a boundary, especially for highly sensitive people, then we need to kind of go back towards the gray again and say, okay, I'm going to take care of myself this way, and I'll help you out if I can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Bless you and leave you with that. See you soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Hanna, would you like a message?
Yes, please.
Working on it. Do you like radishes?
Yeah, Kind of, yeah.
Kind
I
of,
know
yeah.
that, but I know they're healthy. That's why I eat them.
What did you say?
I'm saying that I don't really like them a lot, but I know that they're healthy. That's why I eat them.
Yeah. So that fits in exactly with the message.
I knew it.
You've got this whole pile of things you do because it's healthy that you really don't enjoy doing. And the simple things you know not to do, you don't do. So rather than trying to stack the cart up with all the things you should do that are healthy, consider really going the moderate middle path. Fewer of the things you know are unhealthy, but don't force yourself to do so many of the things that are supposedly healthy. Middle path, moderation. Because right now, part of your frustration and part of things that creates anxiety for us and is the worrying about, oh, I did this, so now I need to counterbalance with that. Well, I'm supposed to eat radishes even though I don't like them because they're supposed to be healthy for you. Oh, I'm supposed to do this because of that. I'm supposed to eat probiotics because of that. And you've got all these rules that you're trying to follow at the same time. You're not listening to the knowledge and knowing of your body. And you kind of, all the stress about eating right has you want to eat not right. So it doesn't matter how many radishes you eat if you finish off 5 pounds of C's chocolate. So I will bless you and remind you about moderation and see if that landed.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll bless you and leave that. Albert, would you like a message? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you do welding?
I used to in school.
Okay. But you've never really done it on projects or anything going right now?
No.
Okay. I've got
I did soldering.
yeah, but this is you're trying to yeah. You've been working on a project for a while and you're looking for a way to speed up production and create a better result. And in the back of your mind, you think if I could only weld this, it would be fine. But you don't want to take it to someone and have it professionally welded. You're thinking about buying the machine and redeveloping the skill to develop this. And what's interesting, it looks like it's a pressure chamber that goes inside of a model rocket. So you're trying to do, it's a two fuel system, and the two tubes that you're trying to get to work and fit inside of this body for the rocket, it's not a solid fuel, but it's got two different chambers. And then when they're going down, they mix and then they ignite. But you're trying to get these things done in a way that, because every time you've done it in the past, they blow up. So the seam isn't strong enough. It could have been because you're trying to solder them. And what Nathan is saying is just go ahead and have someone do the welds for you. And if it works out the way you want them to, then you can invest in the machinery to do it, to start developing the skills to do it on your own. This feels in the realm of personal investment and financial investment. Personal investment in some of the things you're trying to bring about, but financial investment with some of the things you're considering. As we're kind of in this change of tides right now with the financial markets. So I will bless you and leave you that and hope that makes some kind of sense and if that landed.
Somewhat. I guess the thought of welding is an analogy of something else.
Yeah, because if you're going to weld, you got to have the machine, you got to have the tool, and you got to have the skill.
Yeah.
And you've got a couple of projects that instead of hiring a professional who has the skill, the machine and the experience, you're trying to hack that and see if you want to do it on your own. And you don't even know if it's going to give you the right result you want.
I think it has to do with income tax this year. So I'll get a CPA. Yeah.
Yeah. It also has to do with a personal mindset with you and something you're working on.
Yeah, taxes. Okay. Very good.
All right, I'll bless you and leave you that.
Thank you.
And Jen, you've already had a message, right? Marsha, you're next. Would you like a message? Do you ever do any kind of camping?
Yes.
Yeah. So I've got you on your hands and knees with a flint and still, and you're trying to make a spark to light the kindling to start a fire. And it's almost like you became fascinated with this. And even though there's a lighter right next to you that could get the damn thing started immediately, there's a sense of pride in being able to do it the old-fashioned way. This is coming from Nathan. And even though people are around you saying just use the lighter, there's a way you like to do things that gives you a great deal of satisfaction and pride and accomplishment and almost a sense of bragging rights. And he wants you just to hold on to that. And of course, anybody could use a lighter to light the fire, but very few people can go back and do it the old-fashioned way. And there's a sense in you of passing forward a lifetime of experiences that you learned from people before you that add a depth and a richness to life. And he just wants you to embrace that and do you to the best you can. And even though there may be a faster, quicker, more efficient way, the way you do it works. And you're quite good at it. I mean, you're really efficient at this. So I will bless you and leave you with that and see if that made any darn sense.
I do like to do things myself. I don't want to always be dependent on somebody having to cut your hair. If you can figure out how to do it yourself, you can sew your own clothes, if you can cook. For some reason, I've always felt a need. So that's nice that I know it comes from somewhere.
Yeah. And then, allow yourself to share that joy and that whatever that source feeling is, share that with others.
Thank you.
I'll bless you and leave you that. And I'm a big fan of doing my own hair, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Lisa, we've already given you a message, right?
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. So this is our opportunity to set our intention for the week and to connect across time and space in a spiritual circle. So take a deep breath, and I want you to pick a goal, something you want to bring about, something you want to accomplish this next week, between today and next week. And once you have that in mind, a step towards a goal, a major goal, a minor goal, doesn't matter what it is, just one thing you want to have in the books, have complete, stepping into next week. And once you have that, I want you to put out your left hand and lean over and say, lefty, hold my left hand. So your spirit on your left-hand side holds your hand. For me, it's Nathan. And put out your right hand and invite righty, or if you know your teacher's name, say it, to hold your right hand. So thank you, Tao Chuan Ling. So now you are connected with two people who love you unconditionally from the spirit side. So relish in their presence, experience the love that they are sharing with you right now, the harmony. Very good. And I invite our spirit guides and teachers to reach out across time and space and connect this circle. So we have our teachers each connecting with the other teachers of the people on the call. And as we complete this circle, feel the energy flow in through your right hand and out through your left hand as this energy circuit of like minds and kindred spirits connects across time and space. And take a deep breath in. And as you take a deep breath in, I want you to imagine that it's next Sunday and you've accomplished what it is you want to bring about. It's a done deal. How do you feel? Are you happy, or are you relieved? Are you joyful? Or do you feel vindicated? It doesn't matter what it is. Touch into that feeling expressed as a way of being happy, being accomplished. And whatever that sense of being is, that feeling, set that as a context and the intention for your week. Everything you do this week will be inside of that context. Every step, every action, every thought will be taken from a space of happiness, a space of love, a space of acceptance, accomplishment, pride, joy, fulfillment, whatever your essence of being is. And I invite our spirit guides and teachers to help us stay within that context, that we open our eyes that we may see our next best step, our ears that we may hear what is needed to be heard, our minds that we may understand the best way to accomplish what it is we want to bring about, but most importantly, to open our hearts that we may give and receive love freely as we walk our paths this week, as exemplified by you, our spirit guides and teachers, and made manifest in our lives by our actions. And take a deep breath, and knowing that you've accomplished what it is you're going to accomplish, and you've got this way of being that will be the context for your actions. Together we say, and so it is. And I thank our spirit guides and teachers for their connection and their presence in our lives. And I thank you each for joining us here today. Our small but growing community is my dream being expressed. So I really want to thank you for being part of my dream and making it possible. Having spiritualism reach out across the country and into other countries so that people who don't have 4 spiritualist churches within an hour of them can connect with other like minds and spirits. This is my dream. So I'm glad you joined it. I look forward to seeing you all next week. And you can shoot me an email at terry@spirit360.org. And I will see you all next week. Take good care, everybody. And Wanda, last chance. Okay, bye-bye, everybody.
Hi, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.
Bye, thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, Wanda, last chance. Last chance, Wanda. Sorry. We'll see you next week, guys. Bye-bye.